Maybe there's a call for a protocol much like the one that Fox has, where you sort of share your vaccine status. If you choose not to get vaccinated, you get regular testing so that you are not a threat to spread this to the workforce. It still happens. Cases seep through. I'm a good example of that.
Yeah.
The immunocompromised are in their own sort of little neck of the woods here. But I cannot stress this enough. This is not about left or right. This is not about who's conservative or liberal. Last time I checked, everyone, regardless of their political persuasion, is coming down with this. Cases are stabilizing, but we're still losing 3,000 people a day. We've lost 5 million globally to this. We've lost nearly 800,000 in the US. Take the political speaking points and toss them. For now, I'm begging you, toss them and think of what's good, not only for yourself, but for those around you. If you don't want to do it for yourself, if you think it's a pain in the ass, I get that.
Right.
But think of others around you. I dare say people who experience this or have seen loved ones who've been affected by this or heaven forbid die from this are not judging the wisdom of mandates. They're wishing they got vaccinated.
That was Neil Cavuto there. I think he was a little bit off at the end. I think plenty of Republicans have watched family members die and still are not taking this seriously. It boggles the mind, but I think it's true. But there he is saying the right thing. And by right thing, I mean the only rational thing, the lowest possible bar. This is a deadly disease that's killing tons of people. Stop being political about it, just get the vaccine. And he has done that. He got sick anyway. He is immunocompromised. He has multiple sclerosis. He had open heart surgery. So he had other risk factors that apparently opened him up to getting infected. But he is trying to get through to Fox. But Francesca, I think we have a pretty good idea of the likelihood of widespread success in that effort.
I mean, it's a done deal. Unless you are reining in Carlson and Ingram and Hannity, they're doing it for the clicks and the eyeballs. You have to be an anti-vaxxer to be relevant on the right now. And you have to want the death of your own base if you want to stay relevant. Again, it never made sense to me, but it is nice to hear somebody, again, like we just do a story about, about the insurrectionists and how there was back channels into Congress, and yet we're not even saying that it definitely happened between Congress and we give so much intellectual honesty to stories that we cover, and you rarely hear that from the right. So it is refreshing to have Neil Cavuto at least be like, yo, please essentially don't listen to any of my co-hosts.
Yeah, and he's gonna try, but we know how this is gonna work. I don't even know how into Cavuto the base was anyway, but he's gonna be written off entirely by them. As you said, you have to
go blonde. He just needs to zhuzh it up,
Yeah, you have to be anti-vax, or you have to at least pretend you're not vaccinated, never confirm or deny. It's private or whatever, and you have to play into what the anti-vaxxers want. Like you have to just never. It's not that you're saying the vaccine will kill you, it's full of squids, which some people are saying. They're saying you will get octopuses in your body if you get the vaccine. But you have to constantly do stories about how it's scary and suspicious and who knows what's happening. And maybe there's side effects and I don't know, it's scary and maybe they're making money off of it. You just say this stuff all day long. And it's not just Fox hosts, by the way. Take a look on YouTube. There's some people who are trying to make a lot of money, get a lot of views off of this because the right wingers will watch this stuff. They're terrified, they wanna keep being terrified. They need content to sustain that. And so that's what they're doing. And we have gone out of our way over the past year to give credit to anyone on Fox who encourages people to get vaccinated. Ducey slightly at one point, Sean Hannity very briefly, and then he realized that was gonna be the end of his career, so he backed off. And now Neil Cavuto. Unfortunately, it is going up against all of the rest of their programming. So I want you to take a look at something else that happened on Fox last night.
So I'm not vaccinated. And before I wasn't getting vaccinated because I, as a 36-year-old woman with no underlying conditions, have a 99.97% chance of survival against COVID. So I was on the fence because it didn't make sense to get vaccinated for a virus that is not a threat to my life, nor one that I fear. But now I'm doubling down as a giant middle finger to Joe Biden's tyranny because now it's a fight for freedom. Now it's a fight against tyranny in America, and that's what this is all about. We are literally fighting right now, Dan, for the future of this country. Are we gonna be a free America or not? And that's ultimately what this all comes down to. And I know you believe it. I've seen you've taken a strong stance on vaccine mandates, which encourages people like me as well. But this is such a fight, Dan, and you know it.
Okay, so really fast, let's just say the strong stance he's taken on vaccine mandates is that he's willing to leave Cumulus, the radio job, where he almost certainly makes far less money than on Fox News. Fox News has a mandate that is harsher than Biden's. We've said that a million times, we'll continue to. Dan Bongino does not want to actually engage with that because he wants that sweet, sweet Fox money. He ain't leaving Fox News over the vaccine mandate. She's saying this is a fight for the future of the company. This is Biden's tyranny. Well, Fox is, as we've said, 5 times more tyrannical than Joe Biden because they want you to get tested every single day. And Dan Bongino, who is notably very quiet during that clip for a guy with the chemicals raging through his veins that he has, he kept it together very well. Maybe because he doesn't want to actually point out, like, I'm not leaving, I'm not quitting. This money's really good and I want people to see me. So Fox News' tyranny is great. Biden's is bad purely for political reasons. That's all it is.
Yeah, first I was selfish just because, I am a black-hearted B-word. And then it became political and I was like, you know what? F the entire community. You can all choke and die. Also, my family can die and my Nana. Nana, honestly, $20 at Christmas, do better. Like it was, that mentality right there is the most anti-family, just like almost unpatriotic attitude to possibly have, right? Yeah. And I am the last person to be for, some sort of like bleeding heart patriotism, but any kind of semblance of a nation that we've completely lost, the social fabric unraveling, thanks to just self-absorbed people like that. Like, I'm just like, how do you get away with saying that? This is the same, these are the same folks who, if there is a drumbeat for war, once again, if coronavirus were Muslim or a country, we would have invaded and bombed by now and we would have all pulled together and got vaccinated, because jihad or whatever. But it's like, they pull together for any kind of militarism. Oh, it's your duty, do your duty, serve your country, serve your country, serve your country, except for this. Yeah. Except for when it comes to actually something you could do. Because they wouldn't go to war either, let's be real.
Yeah, most of them wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, my slight counterpoint would be that they have pulled together. They've pulled together against a threat. It's just not the public health threat. It is the political threat. She said, I mean, she was, I don't know, maybe she's new to this. I honestly don't know, but she laid it out really blatant. This has become a war. This is now a fight for liberty, a fight for the future of our country. Fox, we here at Fox desperately want this to be a constant fight about vague stuff, not specific. Don't talk to me about whether we're going to expand Medicare to include vision and dental, because we know people are popular and we don't want that. So we don't want to have those debates. We'd love to make the next 4 years a constant fight, a war on, well, you can watch the video on the recount, literally everything. It's a war on hot dogs. It's a war on flags. It's a war on kids' sport. It's a war on literally everything at all times. Like with Littlefinger, fight every war simultaneously here at Fox News so that we can keep you really worked up about vague stuff that like the stakes don't have anything to do with your life and we don't have to deliver, and certainly the politicians don't have to deliver. That's the way we like it. And that's what this has become. They could have come together to fight the virus. They've got their own war, and their war is what's going to sustain Fox News viewership, what is going to keep the base fired up for the midterm elections and eventually Republicans to run in 2024, and it's something vague, something liberty.
Yeah, and also just on the point of I'm a healthy 36-year-old who doesn't have underlying conditions. Plenty of people younger than 36 with no underlying conditions have died from COVID, and especially the Delta variant. So go home with your, I eat a smoothie every day and I do CrossFit and whatever. It doesn't matter. None of your crystals that you clutch, none of your smoothie work, none of your Goop Gwyneth Paltrow BS, none of your Joe Rogan, vegan lifestyle, whatever it is you think is gonna save you from this. We have examples of people who have died, who followed all those things, who've done all their sort of cocktails of ivermectin, et cetera, and they've died. So yeah, you're at risk still. And again, what a selfish world, what a selfish country we live in. My God, to think that well, I'm not gonna die. I'm just gonna stand on a pile of bones, but I'll be okay.
Exactly, like the Terminator. I just want to play one more graphic because most of the people that we've given credit for at Fox for pushing for vaccination have turned on that. I don't think that Ducey has. He's been like the most consistent. Maybe Cavuto will be now, but obviously Sean Hannity turned very fast. And we have another example of that. So Harris Faulkner had participated, as had Steve Ducey, in a little ad that they would play between shows at Fox, encouraging people to get vaccinated. Justin Baragona has a tweet from her show today. This is the Faulkner Focus, and their little background graphic is "Get the vax or get the axe." Yeah, it's a better grift. It's a better grift. Telling people not to die and not to kill other people. Come on, that's boring. We need to be exciting. Lift up the patriots, and that's what she's doing.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.